Hi, over here. Not gonna lie, this league has been kind of fun. Um, Maybe just because like the barrier to entry for a lot of builds has been lowered, so you don't really feel a lot of pressure in terms of like coming up with new builds or leveling up the maps and all that. It's actually quite, I guess, interesting. You can like play a lot of different stuff, and because of how Arch Nemesis has been nerfed, there's a lot of defensive options available that you can like gear around. I would say that the strongest defensive options this league has been well, three options mostly, and that would be curse scaling. So that's what Rutu was doing. The problem with curse scaling is you're kind of locked into impending doom as a damage ability. The other thing is that was also kind of popularized by Rutu, which is what was it? Using Law Weave and Eternal Damnation to get a lot of elemental damage reduction, and then reducing it even further with something like Jug Unbreakable. And the third one is actually something that Rutu probably hasn't used yet, but I think it's really strong, and that is using Mahuxotls, which is what I did with my champion, and is what I'm doing right now with this current build. This build is still 85. I just came up with it, bought the items for it, and started playing it like less than a day ago. I must admit there are some issues with recovery that I probably need to solve. So right now, there is an interesting recovery mechanic here, but it's not something that I would consider to be reliable enough for it to be good. So if anything, this is just, for the time being, I'm just going to keep working at this and come out with improvements. But I like how the damage is scaling on this character at the moment. It is a explosive trapper, so taking a lot of inspiration from Jungron, as usual Jungron. um, so his explosive trapper in 3.1, I think 9 was it? His league starter. I'm not touching Sanctum on this until I get my relics off my champion. Actually, maybe I should just store rooms. That'd be smart. So the damage on this is pretty nice. I will briefly run through some of the key core mechanics of it. As usual, this is a Mahuxotl's build. I'm pathing through the same area, so I'm getting the same exact Timeless Jaw. I'm getting Lethal Pride Rakiata here. So it gives me Temper by War, which then means I only need Fire and Chaos Rest. So Fire is at 85 as usual. I'm using Ghost Dance and to some extent Devouring Diadem to get Energy Shield that goes into Everlasting Sacrifice that gives me capped Fire Res. And then it gives me 85 Chaos as well. In this case, the nodes that I have here is 5% of physical damage from hits taken as fire. I have two of those. And 5% of physical damage as extra fire. So physical damage extra fire works because Explosive Trap is technically a physical skill that you convert to fire. So that is 5% more damage technically. And then yeah, so I'm using Divergent Explosive Trap here. I'm using on the chest Cloak of Flame, which gives me 20. What is this? It gives me 2 to the Succubus Trap and Mind Gems and +1 to all. +1 to all effects empower support. And the +2 to Trap and Mind Gems affect all the Mind support trap supports. So it affects Divergent Explosive Trap and affects Trap and Mind, Swift Assembly, and Divergent Charge Traps. So all these get +4. So when I get them to 20, this will all be not +4, +3. So all these will be at level 23, and the Divergent Explosive Trap will be at 28. So 28, it gets 3 levels from the chest armor, gets 3 from Empower, and then power is bumped up by 1, so it's 4. So you get a total of 7 extra levels. I have a mace or a scepter here that's +1 to all spell skill gems. This cost me 5 chaos. I think the guy doesn't know how much it costs, or he kind of underpriced it, I feel. But this he probably got it off highest, right? And he was like, this is pretty meh. So the crit multi here is nice. The cast speed here is nice because I'm using slave drivers, and the +1 skills, obviously. +1 gems is nice. So the +1 gems then gives my priority fire level 23, which is what I'm looking for. It gives me 5% fire res. Grace level 23. And then some mosquito bots. I actually don't have a level 21 yet, so but I'll try to get one. Some mosquito bots is linked to Infernal Legion just to be able to give burning or to apply burning to targets. So mosquito bots already applies shock and chill, and then with this Infernal Legion, it applies burning to the target I'm focusing on. That allows me to use Saboteur's. This is, I think, what John covered before. Saboteur's Explosive Expert. So you get 40% critical strike multiplier, even though you're running Conflux for Shocking, Brittle, and Sapping. So in this case, because I only care about fire res, I have +3 to fire, next fire, and then the rest is -1, -3, or -1. It doesn't really matter. So this amulet cost me 10 chaos. And then, you know, the enchant or the anoint on it is actually more expensive because it costs silver oils and tainted. So it's like 80 chaos total, 90 chaos total for this amulet. Mahuxotl is still 100 chaos around there. It's gonna be pretty cheap for you. Divine Iron, I think for me was like, I think this was like 3 divines. Not too bad. The chest armor I sniped, so I bought this for 2 divines, I think. And then I 6-linked it myself, so it's like 3 divines total. This boot is kind of ridiculous. I didn't buy this. I made this. I bought the Chaos Res base for like 15 Chaos or something stupid. It was really cheap. And then I just slammed it with essences of what's it called? Does it say? I don't know. It's an essence that gives avoid being shocked. So I wanted to get 59% and then get the 41 implicit. I ended up getting spell suppression T1. And then I looked at the prefixes and there was an empty slot, so I just prefix going to be changed and then Veiled Chaos. The first Veiled Chaos I put, it filled prefixes, which is technically a brick, but because you know, it's a 1 in 2 to get the prefix instead, I just annulled. I got lucky. I wanted to a prefix. I put a prefix going to be changed again, and I used the Veiled Chaos again, even though most people say you don't do that because you just want Isling's a lot reliable, right? A lot more reliable. But in this case, I lucked out. I got T1 life, and I got prefix. So T1 life and prefix. What I did was then I unveiled. I crafted mana to unveil. Unveiled cannot be frozen, cannot be chilled, and movement speed. And I crafted couldn't be frozen. And with that, I actually don't need a Storm Shroud anymore. So I dropped off Storm Shroud entirely from this setup. I'm okay with dealing with Scorch and Brittle and whatever it is from Exile Altars. I don't expect this character to be like super tanky to get it to 98 easily, so I don't really care. But this boot is like insane, and if I probably put it in the market, I could get like 20 divines plus for this. But yeah, I crafted less than 8 divines. Yeah, so I got really lucky. Rings are all pretty cheap. I think this was like 15 chaos. This was okay. This was a bit more expensive. I think this was like 60 chaos. Slave drivers is 2 divine, I think. 2 divines for the stat. You really want a dexterity to be at multiples of 10, so 30, 40. You don't want like in betweens because then it's very hard to then find enough intelligence to get balanced dex and intel. So yeah, that's just for leadership's price. All in all, this build so far I think cost me like 20 divines, about there. Oh yeah, no, it's not 20 divines because the Empower is so expensive. Probably 30 divines. Uh, Yeah, but you can probably like run Empower 3 and then like have 1 reduced gem level. This is just because I have money and I don't really care. What else? Okay, the pathing's still pretty straightforward. It's if you notice, like there are only a few there are very strong nodes on the tree that you just end up pathing for anyway. So if you want to compare this to the Blade Trap champion, you almost always going for the same exact nodes. Like Leaf Shade strong, Assassination, Blood Siphon. In this case, I'm getting Wicked Ward because I'm using a recharge mechanic. I'll show you the recharge mechanic later. I have Throat Seeker. I mean, I'm only getting Throat Seeker because I'm going for Wicked Ward, but otherwise this will not be added. You want obviously the reservation nodes. You want, in this case, this is a spell, so crit spells and crit multi for spells work. You want to you want to trap crit multi and crit chance. Ghost Dance because you want to proc the Everlasting Sacrifice. In this case, you're going infused for because +1. You get power charges quite reliably. Actually, I don't know why I did it on champion, but maybe it's because champion already has enough crit chance. But infuse is great because it helps to boost charge traps as well. So yeah, socket here. You look at the Watcher's Eye. This was one divine. Oh, no, wait, hold up. This was not one divine. This was 150 chaos, I think. And it's physical damage from his second as fire and a chance to evade. There's no damage on this, so that's why it's really cheap. And no one really values the physical damage from his taken as fire when affected by purity of fire. I'll show you exactly why I go for this stat later. And then you have life here, life nodes. You go for a cluster slot here. So Ironbreaker, Battle Hardened, and Force Multiplier. Force Multiplier allows the Ironbreaker to be here, and the Battle Hardened be here. And then you just path. You get another small cluster, medium cluster. You get Guerrilla Tactics, Surprise Sabotage, Guerrilla Tactics, and Arcane Pyrotechnics. I'll show you the Forbidden Jewels later because I think that'll be interesting to talk about. It's about recharge mechanic. Then you go here again. You notice that the same exact grouping of passives are allocated with the Blade Trap Champion and this, just because this is so strong. When it comes to like if you're using a Rakiata, Lethal Pride, you're generally going to take all three of these notables. So, and you could also take this if you want. Replenishing Remedies is not too bad if you want some Lost Sustain. So you path here as well, you get the suppression nodes. So you get suppression here, you get suppression here. And then you go here, you get life and then suppression and life. So I'm going to go briefly run through the Forbidden Jewels and exactly what the recovery mechanic is on this. I would say the recovery mechanic is interesting, it's good. The problem is just I don't really have a recovery mechanic to deal with attack hits. But for spell hits, this is like super cool. So what I have here is actually Spellbreaker. So Spellbreakers from Trickster. Yeah, 20% chance to suppress spell damage. So that takes pressure off your need to get suppression on passives. You don't have to path here and get Mage Bane. So in this case, I get 20% chance to suppress spell damage, prevent 10% of suppress spell damage while on full energy shield. That never happens because you have Everlasting Sacrifice, but that's fine, it's okay. And 50% chance for energy shield recharge to start when you suppress spell damage. Alright, so basically, half the time when you suppress spell damage, your energy shield will start recharging. And because you have Wicked Ward, it will not be interrupted for 4 seconds. And why is that important? Because you have a Eternal Youth from Mahuxotl's Mechanic, and Eternal Youth basically gives you life recharge instead of energy shield recharge. Right? You don't have any life leech, and you don't have any life regeneration whatsoever. You kind of have to rely on flasking to get your life up. But whenever you take spell damage or you suppress spell damage, half the time you will start recharge. And you will start recharge, and recharge will be unresolved for 4 seconds. It's like 33% life per second. I could also boost this by taking these nodes. So energy shield recharge rate of 20% increase for these 2 points means that I will recharge at a rate of, I think, 33 times 20% is, what was it? 156, so it's 40%. I mean, if I want to do that, but I'm not sure if this is worth it. The other thing as well is that energy shield recharge. There's also an energy shield recharge mechanic on Devouring Diadem. So 10% chance for energy shield recharge to start when you use a skill. So if I use a skill like cast traps or dash around, I have a 10% chance of proccing this. If I suppress spell damage, I have a 50% chance of proccing this. So there is pretty good recovery mechanics here. My main issue is that right now dealing with one shots, dealing with dots, although Leaf Shade does help quite a bit with that, and dealing with incoming damage. Right now, I don't have enough evasion for this to be comfortable, my evasion is, if you will look at it, it's 30,000. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's not that good. So 84% chance to evade. As you can tell as well, I'm not using the very popular defense mechanic of using Defiance Banner and Determination. I have Defiance Banner because I have extra reservation, but I don't have Determination. And the answer is the reason why I don't have Determination is because I'm not using a Skin of Lords, so that really makes no sense to go double defensive auras, right? Because Skin of Lords does boost that quite a bit. So in this case, I'm using a Cloak of Flame. And then what does a Cloak of Flame do for me? That helps me a lot. So one, Cloak of Flame takes pressure off fire resistance. Like, I don't really need as much fire resistance right now. You can see I'm quite overcapped. That means elemental weakness doesn't affect me. That also means that fire exposure doesn't really affect me that much. And why is this important? Because, I mean, and what else is this? What else does this Cloak of Flame do? It's also because it gives me 40% of physical damage taken as fire. Right, so if that's 40% physical taken as fire, and if you see here as well, the Watcher's Eye gives 10%, so that's 50%. So half all the physical damage I take is taken as fire. And then also I have, what was it, 10% from this, so 60%. So only 40% of the damage I take is taken as physical, the rest is taken as fire. So that helps me to deal with the fact that I don't really have armor. But if you ask me personally, I think armor would help a lot. So maybe just maybe I might add armor, but for now I think I'm fine without it. I'm gonna just keep playing this, leveling up with it, and then experimenting with it. Wait, is this? Oh, it's 140 with LEDs. Okay, so I'm gonna hide out. What is my fire res actually? So now it's 155. Right, that's not too bad. So yeah, I probably won't do like amazing content with this, but it's an interesting proof of concept. I really wanted to see how Spellbreaker works with Eternal Youth, and this gave me a chance to do that. I think for me to like really make use out of it, I need a higher health pool. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do this, but the health pool I probably need is like 5.5k, like around there for this to like this combo to feel really secure and comfortable. Um, and yeah, that may be a pretty tall order because then it would mean I might have to drop slave drivers. I might have to drop slave drivers. I might have to uh, get more life nodes on 3, which means pathing here and dealing with the fact that that gives me a lot more decks is also a big issue. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But for now, this is kind of the tree and how it looks. I have like 10 more points, so you know I could just also path here and get another large cluster and then get to small clusters like fertile clusters. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me just do one more map and then close off the video. Whatever. Bog is pretty bad. Nah, pop bog's pretty boring. Bog. Ah, Stewie is fun. Okay. Have I tried Sanctums on this? Sanctums are alright, I guess. It doesn't really have freeze because I have, you know, the conflux. I think it would definitely feel more comfortable if I didn't have conflux. Oh, he died. That looks very lucky. I really need a defensive skill. Right now, if you look at my sockets, I don't really use a lot of my sockets right now. I haven't really figured out what I want to use. Obviously, I think if I run Alchemist Brand and put like 1 or 2 curses and try to get more curse limit, I probably would do more damage. Yeah, but I'm not too sure. Oh, no drops. Hmm. Why was this highlighted? I don't know. Wait, do I have Burning Ground immunity? I hope I do. So if you notice, I'm using Hatred, Divine Blessing. Damage is pretty good. Okay, if you want to look at my sockets, as you can tell, I have like 3 sockets I haven't really used. Bear Trap is here, Defiance Banner, Herald Ash, Righteous Fire, Grace, Purity Fire, some Mosquito Bots, Panel Legion, Slew Charge, Fast Attacks, Flame Dash. I changed to Smoke Mine actually. But you know, I might run a defensive, so maybe Steel Skin. Inspiration on Inspiration, Divine Blessing, and Hatred. That's pretty much it. It's not really. The skills are not that complex. I don't know why I'm running Righteous Fire. Yeah, I actually don't need this. I mean, it's nice. It's nice, but you see, look at this. Uh, it's not. It's a bit risky doing maps, so I wouldn't advise it. I actually don't know why I pop it sometimes. Like it could definitely get me killed. So I'll just take it out for now. Okay, how much is this? 10. Oh, it's 10 kills. Oh, I see. All right, I'm done with the video. Next, okay, hold on. I'm gonna probably briefly talk about the next build. If I do a next build, which I probably will if I have the time for it. Look at this, dude. Okay, so a Korean guy was trying to sell this for like 50 divines for a very, very, very long time, and I tried to haggle him down to 30, and he wouldn't hear it. He was like, "Oh no, fuck you, I won't sell this to you for 30." But he ended up pricing it at 40, and I think another guy bought it. So the guy bought it, and I saw it listed again on at 50 on the trade site. I pinged him. I was like, "Oh, how much did you buy this for?" Because I last saw it at 40 from the Korean dude, and he was like, "Oh, I bought it at 40." But he tried to get it for a friend, and the friend didn't really want it because let's face it, this needs a very specific build, I think, to make work. So I know we are briefly talking about it, and he was like, he really doesn't want it. He prefers having the divines. And then I mean, he kind of warmed up to me, and because we talked about builds a lot, and he was quite interested to hear how I was building my characters. So he said, you know, you want this? I can sell it to you for 20 divines. I actually kind of like maybe was like a bit, do I really want to create a build around this? But then I figured like, fuck, I'm literally sitting on like I was sitting on like 60, like 80 divines at that point, and I was like, I mean, I don't want to end the league on 80 divines just sitting in my stash, like rotting away and doing nothing. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it for 20 divines, and I'm probably gonna build a build around it. I just don't know what that build will look like. I have some, I have some ideas, right? So Voidforge is definitely one of them. This is a crappy Voidforge. I'll probably have to sell this and get another one, but Voidforge is definitely one of them because multi-strike and the rage is going to scale super well with the Voidforge. Obviously, the onslaught gem here kind of sucks. That's why it's not a weapon, so it's gonna suck here. So I mean, I don't really want this Voidforge. I probably want to get another one instead. I might just sell this and get a uncorrupted one. But yeah, so Voidforge is one solution or one way of solving this. But multi-strike and swords, you kind of stuck with Flicker Strike, I think. And you know, do I really want to play a Flicker Strike? I don't know. We'll see how, right? So if that's the case, then if I'm scaling Rage, I might just change my Berserker from Glacial Hammer to Flicker Void. That's one of the easier ways out. The other solution I'm thinking about that is going to be quite interesting is I bought this Pillar of the Cage God. I've done I won't say strength stacking. Was it strength stacking? I can't remember. Yeah, a strength stacking pillar build for champion a couple of leagues back. It was Scourge League. So with these two, I can probably get this on a Berserker with Bear's Griddle to like 90 rage, and then you basically do Bone Shatter. Yeah, you just do Bone Zone things, right? So Bone Shatter, Pillar of the Cage God, Forbidden Shackle. This will be actually a pretty interesting combination because like it means that the chest slot's kind of free. You can do whatever you want with it. Um, so there's a lot of things that I can play around with that are quite interesting. I can go Eternal Damnation on Bone Shatter. I could do Eternal Damnation on Bone Shatter and try to convert as much of the physical as possible to elemental. Um, I could do some self chill, right? So that's a lot of things I can do with Bone Shatter there. Uh, but I'll have to see like whether or not it's worth it. I'm pretty sure the damage will cap out like 15 mil or something. It's kind of pathetic. Like it's so sad that melee just you need so much investment to like do damage, and then you can do traps. And this does like 23 million damage, just almost no investment. It's kind of stupid. I've also been like buying all these. I won't say buying. Okay, I've been sniping. I mean, I'll be sniping these because I want to find a way to like scale this. I think the Valkyrie's bronze scale gauntlet's like super amazing. But it's how like how do you want to go about scaling this? Like look at this, it's pretty cool. So this is Righteous Fire. I was thinking of a Righteous Fire setup for a while. So with the gem here, like Righteous Fire gem here on this gloves with +2 socket duration and +2 AoE, you literally have level 29 Righteous Fire, 4 link, with 4 links, right? So this is like literally free uh 3 empowers in there. This is like a chest armor essentially. And because you're using level 1 awaken gems, it doesn't matter if you're -5 on it or something. It's still gonna stay level 1, right? So you can just go like elemental focus, burning damage, AoE. So like if I do a Righteous Fire character, I'll definitely use this glove. It's whether or not I want to create a Righteous Fire character. But maybe I'll do 5 builds this league. I don't know. Like it's so easy to make builds this league, so yeah. Then in this case, I also got this glove. So duration and projectile. What I was thinking about is like, look at caustic arrow to level 29 caustic arrow on this. It's gonna be pretty sick, right? And you get like, you defos with this. You can like run toxic rain on your bow. You can run like auras on your chest. And you can just run like caustic arrow on your gloves, like. And you caustic arrow on your gloves. You can run this with like Mirage Archer. And then yeah, Toxic Rain, you run it with like totems. It's gonna be pretty automatable. I think it's like super good. So this is like, I mean, I'm pretty much just looking at this and trying to figure out like mechanics I can use on next league or for my next league start. I think the amazing part as well is you get like onslaught 20 seconds on using a Vol skill, and then you definitely get a Vol skill back up again soon. And especially like if you run this with Pathfinder, right? Pathfinder, Caustic Arrow. Holy shit, you're gonna use a soul, whatever that flask is that gives you souls, and you're gonna just basically pop off Val skills every 20 seconds. For, onslaught every 20 seconds. You're gonna have it sustained, so even on bosses, so that's pretty cool. And then this is like just duration and just normal gems. The reason why I'm pricing them so high is not because I want to sell these to anyone. I'm pricing them high because uh, I can just look at them once in a while on the trade site. And if people are really interested, so this guy was like, was interested in this, and I was like, look, I don't think I'll make a build around this league. So if you uh, I'll literally sell you this you at cost of F5 divines. If you really need it, just ping me. So I'm just waiting for him to ping me. If he ever wants it, I'll just give it to him at cost. Yeah. What else is there? I have an original scripture relic. I probably won't do this. One, because original Sin Ring is like, I don't know, 100 divines now. It's like it's not worth that much. And two, I don't want to stress myself out playing a video game. It's like kind of counter intuitive, right? Or I don't want to feel so stressed playing a video game. It doesn't make sense for me. Oh yeah, I was also looking at this. So lightning trap is projectile duration, right? So look at this too. Level 29 lightning trap. That's pretty sick. Um, and then with onslaught, right? Permanent onslaught. Look at the lightning damage on that shit. Holy crap. 8 additional projectiles find a circle. And insane crit chance, right? Like, it's not that insane. I mean, uh, so I was like looking at all these Valkyrie's gloves and like thinking what kind of boss skills will work on these, and we'll see how. So I've got two. Mm, yeah, so I've got the next build idea coming up. It's probably likely going to be a Flicker Strike or Boneshatter character. But we'll see how. Yeah. Alright, peace. I'm gonna close off this video. Maybe play a bit more of the champ. I want to get my champ to complete Sanctum and then take the relics off him and then put it on this. And I'll just be playing this exclusively. I'm not gonna level my champ anymore. It's level 98. And also one more thing, if you notice, like I do something that probably most other players don't really do. I don't take gear off my finished characters and sell them. I've never sold characters away to other people because like for me the memory of going through the process of creating them is the fun part for me. Like I'm proud of the stuff I make, right? So like look at this character, it's so good. And then I just keep it as it is. It goes straight to standard. Who cares? Once in a while I'll look at it in my character profile and I'm happy about it. So so all my gear, my champion's still here. But yeah, I'll stay level 98 and then I'll just play other stuff. I mean, it's not like I'm poor anyway. I've got like, I still have like 40 divines. I've got other currency and shit lying around. Um, yeah. And I mean, like every build I've made so far is like super cheap. Like this build has was like 50 divines, 40 to 50 divines total. And the Sabo was like 30 divines. And then the Glacial Hammer Berserker was like 30 divines or something. 30, 40 divines as well. Yeah, so it's like almost all my characters like capped out at 30, 40 divines. They just have really good performance for the amount of money I put in. Mostly because I know what I'm looking for, and a lot of the items I buy uh, either I snipe it or no one's looking for them anyway, so that's why I can snipe it. Yeah. Alright, peace. I'm gonna close the video. See you guys.